Aha, there we go. Good. Hello, everybody. What are we doing today? Well, I want to have a little look at the language server because, well, it's the main thing we're focusing on, and version 1.2.0 of Gleam is going to drop any minute now. And the big changes that are all language server related. And people often ask me, oh, what's the status of the language server? What's going on there? And I want to make it clear to people. I want people to be able to find out really easily what's going on in the language server. And so, if you go to... So I thought a nice bit of inspiration is Rust Analyzer. This is the really good... Analyzer IDE... let's just call it a language server, that's what it is. It's the really good language server for Rust. And they've got this really wicked thing, the manual. It's a really good Emmanuel, even if it does flash white when you load it for the first time. And it has all these things like, here's how you install it. For all these different editors. Gosh, isn't that exciting? I've never even heard of Juicy. Juicy++. Oh, is that made of juice, maybe? Do you think? Do you think it's made of juice? Come on, tell me if it's made of juice. That would be cool. How do I find this out? Because I used to work on the juice team. Dependencies. No. Okay, interesting. C++ is called Juicy, but it's not related to juice. Oh! Herex. Herex. Thank you so much for the follow. How's it going? You doing good? Anyway, enough of that. It has installation stuff, troubleshooting, configuration, and lists all the features. Oh, that's cool. And it lists code actions, although I'm surprised these don't get their own, entry in the table of contents. And then it has diagnostics, which I'm probably not going to have, I think. And so this, plus a little thing that says, hey, Gleam is new. It's a whole new language. You're comparing it to ones that are like 10 years old, 20 years old. Gleam is 2-3 months old. About 3 months old? How long has it been? About somewhere around that. So the fact we've got such a good language server is a bit wild. So yeah, I want to rip off Rust Analyzer basically. And Zaka, there's lots of light on my screen, so I can't actually read very well. Zaka6, I couldn't see what number it was, asks, did you use any stuff from Rust Analyzer, like Rowan or Salsa? Or language server protocol is simple-ish in how it works. The language server for my language currently just runs the full compiler on the project. So... no, we don't use anything from... No, that's not true. We do use stuff from Rust Analyzer. What we use from Rust Analyzer is Rust language server types, I think it is. Is this what we... Is this... And we use... There's also a transport one. Great. So this types one is really nice. It defines data structures for all the different RPC messages in the protocol. And we use another one. This one, create language server, which is it just handles the transport for you. So it talks over I/O. So it just abstracts all that away and gives it to you as a synchronous channel. Nice. There's like a whole bunch of fancy async ones, but I actually think language servers want to be synchronous because there's only one client. Or rather, I don't think you want like the sort of like massive promise-based concurrency. I think just like a couple of threads is the way you want to do it. So no, we didn't use any of that. And you're saying your language server just runs the compiler? Well, that's what Gleam's does. I think the reason why Rust needs such sophisticated abstractions inside it in order to be good is that Rust is really slow to compile, but Gleam is designed to be fast to compile all the time. So it is okay to run passing an analysis of a full subtree on every single, and all the updates whenever's required. That's totally fine. That's fast enough. And Gleam's, we're fast enough that no one's. The complaints that we've got have been that it is too fast because you get feedback too quickly. So we actually added some debouncing to slow it down a bit. And if we ever get to the point people are in projects that are large enough to cause the problem of not getting the feedback instantly, well, there's so many things we can do to the compiler to optimize it. The Gleam compiler is an optimizer tool at the moment. It's just fast because it's designed to be fast from the get-go. Have you ever heard of the Acme text editor? I have not. Tell me more. I'm very interested. And that is from Holla Holla We Dem Boys, possibly the best named person in Twitch chat. Diagnostics on save or on each character input. So the way that the Gleam language server works is that every time the programmer types something in, let's go to Big Me. Yeah, so you can see my lovely face even better. And I'm ethereal because I've got a slightly green. I've got a green top on. I'm floating. So, holla holla, we dem boys says blushes. So the way it works is that as you're typing, your editor probably sends a message to the language server on every key press, or like roughly about that, saying, this file's changed, this file's changed, this file's changed, here's the new content, here's the new content. Oh, it's P. Ferguson 8. My favourite of all of the P. Fergusons. I think 8 is where they peaked. So it says, here's updates, here's updates, here's updates. And what we do is we collect all of them, and we go, oh, thank you, thank you, thank you. And we apply those to our virtual in-memory file system that we keep inside the language server. And if we get to a point when the editor goes, oh, and now I want completions. Oh, I want refactorings, please. Then we go, okay, quick, now let's compile. And we send whatever information back. So that'd be diagnostics and the completions. Or they're saying, here's updates, here's updates, here's updates. And the programmer pauses to stroke their chin and say, what should I do next? Ooh, what should I do in my program? At that point, we go, oh, they've stopped typing. Okay, now let's compile the project. So we wait for them to do a little pause, because if they're still typing, you don't want to see like flashes of, whatever. You don't really care about errors until you've actually finished typing in the thing that you want to type in. Who just followed me? Slashly, is that right? Slashly. It's written in like with numbers and stuff. So it's a name that is a secure password. Fantastic. Thank you so much for the follow. P. Ferguson 8 says, correct. I am the pinnacle of the P. Fergusons. Everyone knows. It's just so easy to see. He's just clearly head and shoulders above all the others. Future Synthwave. Thank you for the follow. Speaking of which, I was thinking about trying music in the background of these things. What do you think about that? I found like a royalty-free music thing. I say that I found. I asked Tej and he was like, I use this one. I was like, oh, cool. I'm just going to copy. Oh, Glazzy Dave. Welcome. Cool idea. Do you use some constant for time to wait? Yeah, I arbitrarily picked some number. What that number is, I can't remember. Should we try and find out? Get. It's going to be inside the language server. Not the engine. It's going to be in the server. Let's find out. Can I close this? It takes up a lot of space. There we go. So, more, please. Oh, gosh, that was very bright. Why is it? Oh, wow, double clicking does not do what I think it should do in Safari. Sorry for anyone who I just flashbanged right there. Is that red wine or Ribena? Somewhere in the middle. Keep guessing. You're on the right line, but it's not either of those things. Sort of. Hey Daniel, over in YouTube chat, how you doing? Good to see you. It's nice we're getting like familiar faces in here, you know. Like, hey, it's the usual gang, the Gleam gang, the Gleamlins. So how does this work? Handle request, get a notification in. Notification will be something like, oh, like text has changed. Oh no, this has already been converted into something else. It's the message buffer. This is the thing that does the like saying, hey, hello, I need more input, please, or like here, execute these things. So language server, where do messages is probably where the message buffer lives. Casting messages, all very exciting. So I've said 100 milliseconds. There you go. That's the answer to your question. Zaka 6. I picked that using the very scientific method of just, yeah, whatever. 100? 100, yeah, why not? Let's just go for 100, shall we? Yeah, okay. I'll just change it later. You know, it's fine. Gleam Goons, nice. Oh, it's Max. Max may tell you at some point that like their name isn't Max. It is definitely Max. Don't listen to them. Cranberry, no, not cranberry, not cranberry. I like how the language server is so polite. Compile, please. Yeah, it's good, isn't it? It's good. Where was that? That was in the engine, that method, I think. Compile, please. There you go. I think when you're writing your code, it's important to be polite because then the compiler might be nicer to you and make your code faster. Starting to tune in more to your streams, mostly because I'm crafting ideas for me to use Gleam. Hey, yeah, you should use Gleam. I think it's really good. It's really, really good. It also won't compile so slowly that you have to like buy a faster computer to stream with. I'm like Rust. That was very embarrassing the other day. I kept like typing things in and my computer was like, yeah, I'll get your feedback. Yeah, okay, just wait, just hold on there. I can definitely compile this project. Snow Parrot says, thinking of changing my Twitch name to match Discord and GitHub. Oh, does that mean I know who you are? But I just don't know who you are because you're using a different name here. But no, it's not Cranberry. Arthur Dent, what a name. Arthur Dent is here on YouTube. Oh my gosh, an actual celebrity. I thought you were in another galaxy at the moment. What's going on there? How would you describe the difference between Gleam and Purell, the PureScript Erlang backend? Ah, well, I wonder if someone's asked this before. Actually, like no one has asked this in ages. It used to be a thing we get asked a lot, but these days, no, not really. But from back then, I'm pretty sure I wrote about this. Where is it? Here we go. How does Gleam compare to Purell? Purell is a backend for the PureScript compiler that can pass to okay. So I think the bit what have I said here? I've tried to be quite diplomatic here, I think, because I've just talked about actually like the difference between the languages, but I think really the big difference between Gleam and Purell is there's just way more weight behind Gleam now than there is Purell. Purell has one company that uses it in anger, but they've done I'm not saying this to sound I'm not saying this to sound mean because I'm not sure this is something. This is just something they're not trying to do. They've not done a very good job of building a community around Purell. You know, it's a good piece of technology. It's very usable, but you're not really with a collection of people if you're using it. While with Gleam, we've focused much more on building a community, making sure there's not just like a really good compiler and a handful of good libraries. Like we want to have good package management site and all these different things. You know, we want it to feel like a whole thing you're part of. And I think that's really paying dividends. And now Gleam's is growing and developing much faster than Purell is. And I think even though Purell, you know, had a huge advantage as it builds off this pre-existing, awesome language of PureScript. I think it really makes a big difference that like we've gone down this path. So, but I'm extremely biased. Like, if you're gonna ask me like, is Gleam versus this other thing? I'm like, yeah, Gleam, of course, yeah. How am I going to pronounce this one? I'm going to go for Hagen-Zo 2, the second. Hagen-Zo the second of the Zo dynasty. I saw you at CodeMesh London in 2019. Cool to see Gleam is still going. Oh, wicked. I loved CodeMesh so much. That was my favorite conference. And it's not on anymore, is it? I've not seen it. I'm really sad that it's not. I loved it. It was like, this was back when Twitter was good, but it was just like functional programming Twitter, IRL. Everybody's there. Such a good conference. I think the closest thing we've got now is the Code Beams, which I haven't been to one in a number of years, so I can't say what it's like, but they look really good. But there's something special about CodeMesh because it has all these like big names of functional programming, computer science. Like last time I was there, so there's a language called Miranda. In case you're not familiar with it, Miranda was a closed source language that Haskell was explicitly a clone of. Like Haskell was made to be an open source version of Miranda. That was the point of Haskell. And the guy who invented Miranda, oh gosh, what's his name? That's very embarrassing. I'm gonna have to, oh dear, what is his name? Miranda language. I'm having a little mind blank because I'm on stream. I spelled Miranda, that's why I'm not finding it. Miranda. David Turner. I knew it was David something. I couldn't remember what his surname was. I was going to say Smith, but that's a guy who makes synthesizers. Yeah, David Turner came up to me. He's like, I'm going to open source Miranda. What license should I use? You've open sourced a language lately. And I went, oh, he's talking to me. Extremely famous, influential person. Oh, I feel a little panic. It was great. Such a good conference. And Joe Armstrong would always be hanging out there. All the greats. One thing that Purell and Gleam have in common is that they both sound like a cleaning product. Oh. Dreeg. Is that right? Is that how I'm going to say your name? Dreeg? Dreeg's very funny. I love the pink star. Definitely a fresh way to present a new programming language. Thank you very much. Her name is Lucy. She's very cool. What was your first programming language? Asked Daniel. My first programming language, I did one class in school when I was about 12. No, okay, so I wrote a website with HTML when I was 8 or something. Then I had one class where I like a single lesson of what I presume was maybe some sort of basic, some sort of visual basic, maybe, possibly. I made sort of some sort of interactive form. I'm pretty sure it was VB. I can't remember if I actually wrote code or not, if I just used a GUI. But I remember programming like a quiz about Diablo 2, which I was obsessed with about the time. And I must have been about 13. And then when I was in university and realized that I'm not a biologist, I ended up doing C. And I wasn't very good at it. C was very hard. So that was my first language I really tried to write, and I just got nowhere with it. The first language I managed to like actually start to get stuff done in was Python, and then JavaScript, Ruby, all this sort of things, Haskell, Clojure. Gosh, everyone's really chatty. This is great. I'm having a really good time. I haven't even got into any of this work stuff yet. David Pendre says hi. Hi. Hello. How big can Gleam? Let's try that again. How big can become Gleam in the industry? Says UTJK. Full stop. I'm just a semi-pro developer, usually hanging around Gosh, I'm really struggling with reading today. I'm only in my 30s, you know, I've only been doing it a little while. I'm just a semi-pro developer, usually hanging about building automation scripts. Awesome, web and desktop things. I'm curious about your language. What concept should I know before using it? I don't think you should know necessarily any concepts, you know. I think the best way to learn a language is just to dive in and start trying to make something with it. And then you get a feel for if you like it and, you know, make a whole bunch of mistakes because you didn't have to write the language. And then you ask people, does this make sense? And they go, we do it like this. And you go, oh, wow, I've learned something new. So it just makes, oh my God, oh my, no, oh dear. Oh wow, I'm never going to be able to keep up with chat now, am I? Hello everybody, how's it going? We are discussing everybody's favourite cleaning product, I think we've said it sounds like, which is Gleam. Or more accurately, it's a programming language. Oh my gosh, Twitch has gone absolutely ballistic. Thank you so much for the follow, Ahmed Sikio. Oh, I really butchered that one. Very sorry, Melky. What are you? You're so kind. What's going on here? Oh my gosh, I'm overwhelmed. Dugman, thank you for the follow, and Fuforce. Thank you. I'm gonna have another sip of my not Ribena, not wine, not cranberries. No one's successfully guessed what it is yet. It's not wine. Sounds like a bastard brand. Yeah, Simon Peyton Jones was there in 2019. Yes, he was. And you want to know an amazing story about Simon Peyton Jones out there? So I was due to speak in like the tiny room, and somebody dropped out of the big room at CodeMesh 2019. It's amazing, incredible functional programming conference. And I got an email like a week before being like, hey, so I was wondering, do you want to do a second talk in the main room? And I was like, what? No, I'm not ready for that. Oh my gosh, like the fact I'm in the tiny little side room at CodeMesh, like the conference of my dreams was overwhelming enough. And then she went, oh, okay, I'll find someone else. And then I got and then, you know, I never heard about it again. And then I found out there's been an unexpected extra talk added. It's going to be Simon Peyton Jones talking about exhaustlessness checking. I was like, oh my gosh. I got asked to do a talk to fill a slot before Simon Peyton Jones. Maybe this is why CodeMesh isn't around anymore. Oh dear. Coca-Cola from yesterday, nope. Pomegranate juice, nope. Sangria, neo-Anglism, yes, you are 100% right. I'm drinking sangria because it's sunny, and that's what you drink when it's sunny. Eldritch blood, no, that's what you drink when it's not sunny. If it's a grey, cloudy day, that's what you do. Everyone's asking, what can the Gleam language server do? No one is asking how is the Gleam language server? Good to see you, Ed. Call me Mr. Yogurt. Okay, Mr. Yogurt. Oh, I really miss CodeMesh. It was fantastic. Prune juice, no. Vimto. Vimto is a really good shout. Vimto is a distinctly English drink. Vimto, which is, it should be like an international programmer thing, surely, like with a name like that. Go away. I don't want this browser. Look at that great stuff. I've heard it's popular in 2 places in the world. The first place is like the north of England, and the second place is like, I think, Saudi Arabia or somewhere, where they make an extra sweet version. I find that really weird. When will the Gleam compiler be written in Gleam? Oh, that's very presumptuous. The Gleam compiler is not going to ever be written in Gleam, David. At least not by me. So it would probably take like 2 years to get to the same place. And I don't want to do that, you know. I'd rather I think everyone would be really disappointed if we spent 2 years of development time getting back to where we are now. Right? Like, what's the point of that? Like, instead, you want me to work for 2 years and get to somewhere 2 years better. You know, what can we do in 2 years? Think about what we've come in 1 year, you know, twice as much as that. Oh, we could take over the world. Or maybe not. We can have a few startups using Gleam. We can have a few companies doing great things with Gleam, right? That'd be really cool. I'm in the US, but we get it shipped from Egypt. Oh, maybe it was Egypt then. Maybe that's where Vimto is. Or maybe it's just the Middle East in general. It's odd because in my mind, it's like just a very sort of like northern working person's drink. And then it's like, oh yeah, it's in like all these glamorous places in the desert. They're all sort of like, ooh, amazing. I don't think there would be a lot of benefit to running a compiler in something based on Erlang. Yeah, exactly. So like the Erlang runtime is amazing, but this is not what it excels at. You know, the lovely thing about writing in Rust is that it's really fast for this stuff, and Rust is a really good language to write a compiler in. So is Gleam, but like the runtime isn't super suited to it. But if you compile a Rust program, you just get one file, and the install process is, here's a file, put this on your computer, there you go, off you go. If it was written in Erlang, oh, that'd be a pain. Oh, we've got to like make them install the Erlang runtime, which you do have to, but we're making, if you're going to run a Gleam program on Erlang, but maybe you're not necessarily going to do that. I want to have the friction as low as possible. Scala Guy says, Gleam, wow, hey Scala Guy. Oh, Carnivore Dallas. Dallas, I pronounced that really weirdly. Carnivore Dallas, hey, thanks for the follow. Vimto, the fruitiest word I know. When did you say Gleam 1.2 is releasing? Really soon, like imminently. I thought it might be today, but I haven't successfully done all the admin because I like to write whenever we do a release, I really like to write one of these. If we can find it, here we go. News, Gleam 1.1. I do a little post that goes like, hey, Gleam is this for all the Hacker News people. If we have a trend on Hacker News, which we never do, so they can understand what it is, and just like go through all of the different features and explain them and stuff. And I think that's actually kind of part of why Gleam started to trend, really, is because you could go, oh, this is what the things are. And people tend to not like reading changelogs very much, which is a real shame. But these sort of like, oh, look, we can do this cool thing. We can do this cool thing. Oh, we can do this cool thing. People like that. So yeah, I was hoping it's going to be today, but maybe not. Maybe it's going to be like tomorrow. I'm going to IKEA tomorrow. I said that in a sad way. I love IKEA. I've been looking forward to it all week. I'm going to go to IKEA tomorrow. I'm going to buy some teaspoons. I'm going to buy some picture frames for the artwork that I tried to show on stream the other day, but it's green, so you can't see anything. And yeah, probably that's it, I guess. Okay, that's not very exciting, but I'm going to go to IKEA. Oh, a new curtain rail, because I desperately need curtains for like stopping myself from melting. Moldy Bruh. It's a very English sounding name. Are you English, Moldy Bruh? Thank you very much for the follow. Oh, the start is so cute and friendly. Isn't she she's just the best. Have you seen the little Easter egg? If you go to the website, if you like, if you give a little tickle. She's called Lucy. She's great. You should probably like start writing Gleam, if only because the branding is so cute. I think that'd be a reasonable way. I think a compiler in Zig would be so fun. I might try it sometime. Yeah, I think Zig would be a good language. I think mostly like Zig or C or C++ versus Rust or OCaml or Haskell. It's kind of like a philosophical difference of like what kind of guarantees you want when you are writing your code. So like Zig has a philosophy of, we're not going to introduce guardrails and static analysis that may stop you from being able to write a valid program. You know, if we don't want to outlaw valid programs that are good because they're not provably correct, or you know, type check, which is a really weak proof, but it's still a proof, a weak but useful proof. I fall into the other camp, as you can probably tell if you've ever written Gleam. I really want the computer to know that it's correct. I want the computer to turn around and say like, hey, are you sure that's right? I can't tell that's right. You look like that might be a null pointer. That could crash the program. Or like, oh, you've forgotten this thing. You've forgotten this thing. I want that because I'm a bad programmer. I forget things all the time. I'm lazy. I can't be able to check everything. I want to just like, oh, I'm going to add a new variant to this data structure. Oh, I'm going to add a new field. I'm going to rename something. And I want the compiler to be like, here. Fix these things. And I go, okay. and then my program works. That's what I want. You can't do that in Zig, really. You can for renaming data structures and stuff, but if you get your memory management wrong, then you're gonna have a seg fault, or worse, you're gonna have memory corruption, or some kind of horrible thing. So it's not for me. Zig looks really fun though. I haven't found a good use for Zig yet. / I haven't found a good time for it. IKEA lamps. I've got an IKEA lamp right here. Can I get it in shot? Oh, no, not really. Oh, who was that? Quack Dev. Quack Dev, hello. I like the dev suffix we've got on everyone's names. Maybe I should be like Ludev. I was about to say you need some shades for your window. Yeah, I'm trying to buy some curtains at the moment, and I keep sending off to this. I found a nice company, and I keep asking them for samples, and then they just never send me the samples. So I'm gonna have to give up and find something else. Moldy Bra says, not at all, though my girlfriend is English. Oh, okay, not English. Interesting. Just like cultural osmosis, picking some things up. Do you plan to code? Do you plan to code? Do you plan to code to Prime Stream? I'm sorry, Scala guy. Oh, come, I see your next message now. Do you plan to come to Prime Stream? I don't know what I would do on Prime Stream. I probably should, because like he's got 16 quadrillion followers. Like Prime is like holding up the entire world of, you know, programming, streaming stuff. What a guy! But I don't know what to say. I watched a few of his other guest appearance things. He said he'd give me like a little, I can't remember what it was, like 2-minute slot to sell Gleam. I'm not really a salesperson. I just like to ramble and be friendly and like give people nice tools. And I watched some of the other ones. They're amazing with like interactive video games and stuff. And I went, oh gosh, I don't know about that. O'Camel mentioned. Hell yeah, O'Camel rocks. Gosh, I'm really far back on all these chat messages. I'm struggling to give little. Oh, wait, hold on. Is it little? It is. It's Lil Boo. Lil Boo. Oh, and Takar. Oh wow, I'm really struggling with your name. Takard. Takard. Is that what we're gonna go with? Takard 1234. Or to count the 1234th. Long of their line. In some areas like game dev, crashing or leaking is fine during development. I mean, Gleam's kind of in a way all about crashing. You know, there's the whole Erlang philosophy of let it crash. That's really good. But I think the key distinction is, and I did a whole, God, it's like I've been thinking about this stuff for a long time or something. I did a whole. Okay, Louis Pilfold, Lean, Gleam, Beam. It was a code mesh. Throwing back to the code mesh talk we had earlier. Oh, Fui's Karioka. Fui Karioka. Here's me, back when I had significantly less hair, and put way more effort into my slides. Doing a talk about failure in software. And can I find it? Can I remember the slide? Let's make this bigger as well. There we go. Yeah, so I think like crashing and leaking and stuff are like, they're really useful tools, but you've got to make sure that you've actually decided that you want to crash and leak. Like it's like leaking memory and use it as an arena in like the hot path of a game loop. That's a fantastic technique. Having a program in which you say, I'm only going to focus on the happy path now because that's the bit that's important, and I'm just going to say that errors are never going to happen, and if they do, I just die and exit. That's fine. And then we'll try again later because this is a cron job or something. Awesome. Love that stuff. You should do more of that stuff. Identify the points. Identify when... oh, wait, maybe I've even got a slide for this. No. That one? Yeah, here we go. Not quite what I wanted, but close enough. You really want to make sure that is actually intentional, because like deliberately crashing as a programming technique in your repertoire, that's amazing. Accidentally crashing because you made a mistake and you put a dot in the wrong place or typed a function name wrong, that sucks. That's awful. That's the worst. So like, I don't particularly like the Gleam. No, I do love the Gleam thing. I don't particularly like the Zig thing of that is saying like, programmer, just get good. Like you just don't mess up. Don't mess up, okay? I want to be able to have a programming language that goes, did you mean to do this? And I go, no, I didn't. Sorry, let me fix that. Or if it's a time when I want it to be able to crash, I say, no, I definitely meant that. You know, if you get here, just crash. You know, then it's super clear. I want it to be like extremely clear to any human reader if it is like accidental, like a mistake, because that's what a bug is, a mistake, or if it's a decision about how the program should work. And also the compiler should be able to tell. You know, it should be not just that there's a comment. You should be able to just tell from the syntax whether or not it's a mistake or not. Whew. Oh, I'm getting very excited. Has anyone done any performance comparisons on the Erlang versus JS runtimes for data crunching stuff? No, not that I'm aware of. Good question though, Pink Joshi. However, if you're doing like mathematical stuff, neither of them is the right option, right? You want to be, if you're doing like a bunch of tensor maths or something, you want to be binding to some C code for that, regardless of which runtime you want to do. We're talking about Helix. Talking about, do you think I'll get a fat academic offense if I code my uni assignment on stream? Looking for insights. I think you should check that with your supervisor. I suspect the answer is that you are not allowed to do that. Coming from, we've had someone in the Gleam community who's been working on a really amazing Gleam related project, and they have they made a prototype of a WASM backend for the Gleam compiler, which is really cool. It's amazing. It's not ready for use yet. It's a prototype. It's like a good jumping off point for future development, or a thing to play, or a thing for people to play with now. But it's, don't get excited and think we're going to have WASM soon. And she had to, even though it was a fork of an open source project, she had to keep it private while she was working on it. And then when she finished her thesis, then she was allowed to publish it. So I think doing it on streams, well, I don't know, maybe the rules are different. I don't know where you're from, but in the UK, I think that wouldn't fly. But check, because like, wow, what a cool thing to do. Although I will say, I feel like you have like 30% brain capacity when you're on stream because you're too busy thinking about all these other things. I asked my Manc friend, I'm assuming that's Manc as in Mancunian and not Manx as in the Isle of Man, about Vimto, and he says there's a massive statue of a Vimto bottle right next to the gay neighbourhood. Is there really? I was wandering around Manchester a few months back and I don't remember seeing that, but maybe I didn't look hard enough. Portress Paul, hey, is that Porus? Is that my good pal Porus? As in the master DJ who played the recent Jungle Syndicate rave, Porus? I see neither of us out partying on this Saturday evening. Yeah, yeah. What is that about? I am very excited to go to IKEA, but I guess, yeah, that's a bit. Oh gosh, maybe I'm quite old. I did think about trying to like go out and have some fun, but I just want to be super fresh for IKEA. That's my priority at the moment. Do we have function overloading in Gleam? No, we do not. No function overloading at all. We're all very Hiddly Milner, OCaml style stuff here. Gleam looks awesome. Looking forward to having time to do some side projects in it. Oh, thank you very much. Much appreciated. Oh, Scott Dev. Another Dev. The Dev family are here in whole force. There's loads of you. Thank you for the follow. Holla Holla Weedem Boys, my favourite name, asks, or states rather. Also, the Gleam cheat sheets for Gleam for PHP users are brilliant. I don't even need to wait for the JavaScript one. Thank you very much. I feel the cheat sheets, which everyone should check out if you're interested in Gleam. Go to Gleam, the website, gleam.run. Oh, who was that? Scorpion spelt the game away. Very cool. I approve. Got to distinguish yourself from Scorpion from Mortal Kombat. Go to docs. Go to, it's here somewhere. Cheat sheet, here we go. And then pick, which one's the best one? I don't remember which one's the best one. Does anyone remember which one's the best one? Let's go for Python and hope that's good. And then it's sort of like, it gives you a really rapid overview of the language by comparing it to a language you already know. So like, in Python, we write it like this. In Gleam, we write it like this. In Python, we write it like this. It needs a bit of UI work, and I'd love to like find a way of like standardizing the structure across all the different languages a bit more. But it's a really useful, just like, oh, I can't be bothered to go through the tutorial. I'm just going to blast through this because I'm a serious programmer, and I'm just going to go straight onto hacking. Oh, Rochex, Rozix. Oh dear. Thank you for the follow. Really appreciate it. I can't tease people about their names being hard to pronounce because my both my real name and my online handle are both extremely hard to pronounce. So it's not going to work. I love how you're not trying to please everybody. Oh, that's good, because like, you know, that could go one way or the other. You're just trying to make this language the best it can be for the people who like this style. Yeah, Austin. Yeah, that's a really good point. You know. So yeah, yeah, totally. I used to have I used to work for a man called Chris Young, who was, you know, he was a bit of a mentor for me. He's an amazing bloke, and his mentor was a woman who I can't remember the name of. Oh no! And I was at an agile project management conference once in Birmingham, UK, not USA, and they did a really lovely talk about managing relationships in a business context, and a lot of it was from her experience working in politics. And she talked a lot about, well, you've got hard support, soft against, and hard against, right? And you shouldn't spend any time at all on the hard for or hard against, because no matter what you do, they're not going to change. So like Gleam, we're not going to try and win over the C developers, when there's no point. Like the hardcore C developers, or the really hardcore anything developers, you know, there's no point. So you gotta like focus your energy on soft support and the soft against. So like, you know, by cutting out vast swaths of people and just focusing on what your niche is, you can go far. You know, you're never going to make a language that pleases everybody. Otherwise, not just a language. You're never going to make a product that pleases everybody. Otherwise, you're just going to make one that disappoints everybody, really. Fury says, I'm new to the Erlang worlds. Welcome. Good choice. How hard it would be to use an AWS library for Elixir that I saw in Hex with Gleam. Let me show you. Let's go to Hex. Let's do my actual first bit of programming now that we're an hour into the whole thing. Don't worry, be very brief. Brief. Oh no, I've had like half a cup of sangria and now I'm losing the ability to talk. Let's pick the most popular library in the whole ecosystem. JSON. I can't possibly imagine what it's for. So this is written in Elixir. You can tell because it says so here above my head. Where here it says Elixir. So if I go over to my terminal and go over here, I'm going to make a new project. I'm going to do that by running Gleam new Twitch. Boom. If I cd into Twitch, I can run it with Gleam run. Just thought I should probably show off, you know, how Gleam works as well. Oh look, it downloaded dependencies and it compiled things, and then it ran it and it said hello from Twitch. Oh, hello Twitch chat. You can run the tests. Oops, you can if you spell test right though. Gleam test. Ooh, how exciting! So if you want to use an Elixir dependency, here's what you do. Well, actually, the first thing you should probably do is you go to packages.gleam.run and you see if someone has made some bindings for you, and you say, for example, JSON. Oh, I couldn't find any packages for JSON. Okay, so I guess there's no bindings. Maybe I'll make my own. So I'm just going to write Gleam add JSON. That's an Elixir dependency that's just been added there. Now let's run Gleam run again. Oh, I failed to use, okay, sorry. I've just upgraded to the state-of-the-art version of Erlang, which means that my Elixir install is broken. So let me just install a new version of Elixir. This is why you shouldn't do any programming live. No compatible version of Elixir available. Wow, okay. Let's downgrade our Erlang version then. Right, let's try that again. Gleam clean, Gleam run. Oh, look, it's compiled. One called decimal and another one called JSON. That's 2 Elixir dependencies that have been compiled. I didn't need to do anything. It was a shame that it crashed in that previous compilation. That's just because I've been messing with my Erlang install. In a normal use, that wouldn't happen. Oops, my bad. Okay, but how do we use it then? So what is the API of this package? They've got a function called decode exclamation mark, and it takes this is the Elixir syntax for a string. It's a bit weird. So it takes a string and then it, decodes it into some JSON. Let's import that, shall we? So I'll open up Neovim. Oh, let's update it so it stops moaning at me. And I'm going to go into my new Twitch file. This is the entry point, and let's define some JSON. I'm going to have to, what am I going to do? I'm going to do like a list of some numbers. There we go. And right, and then what I want to do is I want to call, I want to say past is JSON decode, a function called JSON decode. I'm going to pass in the JSON, and then when that's finished, I want to print it using the IO debug function. Okay, so how do we get this function, this like JSON one? To do that, we need to define a new function called JSON decode, which is going to have the type that we want. So it's going to have an input JSON, which is going to be a string, and it's going to return, I don't know, some dynamically typed thing, because Elixir is dynamically typed. So let's import the dynamic library. Let's get the dynamic type from that. And then, so this is the dynamic type code. It's going to return an unknown structured JSON blob thing. So we're going to say it's dynamic, spell like that. And I'm not going to give it a body. I'm not going to give it a definition. Instead, I'm going to give it an external implementation. So rather than implement it in Gleam, I want to implement it in Elixir. So I'm going to say when running on the Erlang targets, so the first argument is Erlang, I want to use the module elixir.json. And the reason for this is that Elixir modules secretly have the word Elixir in the front of their name. That's how they like behind the scenes namespace things. And the function is called decode exclamation mark. I hope that's what it's called. We'll find out in a second. Archie DP, welcome. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Archie's a cool guy. He follows me, that's how I know. I'm very presumptuous. They follow me, that's how I know. And the function was called decode bang. So that all type checks now. So if I run the program, let's just build it first. If I build the program, it builds. If I run the program, let's hope I haven't made any mistakes. Because that would be really, I've already made one mistake, that OTP thing, that Erlang install thing that I broke. Let's see if there's another mistake. Oh, look at that. It successfully decoded the JSON, turned it into a list, and printed it. Hey! So that's how easy it is to use Erlang libraries. It's super duper easy. The Gleam build-to-run compiler know how to compile Erlang and Elixir dependencies. And you can even go further. You can add like Erlang modules to your project. You can add Elixir modules to your project. And lots of things on the package sites, they use Erlang and Elixir under the hood. Like, I don't know. This is new. I'm not familiar with this. This is new as well. I love that look in the package site, and there's new packages I'm not familiar with. Gwitch. Oh, oh wow. A library for connecting to Twitch IRC. We could make a Twitch bot. Oh, that sounds fun. Anyway, I'm trying to find an example of one that okay, Glee script. This is a Gleam. Oh, let's even do that. Let's even demo Glee script because that'd be really fun. So we're not at all doing what the stream says we're doing, but that's okay. The stream title is all manner of wrong at the moment. So let's add Gleam, add Glee script, and save it as a development dependency. So we've added in this new dep. Glee script is written in Gleam, but it depends on a bunch of Erlang. It depends on the Erlang eScript module. And if I run, if I run it directly, Gleam run Glee scripts. Compiles everything for you. What it does is it generates a new file. You see this? Oh, this one. That wasn't intentional, but like, there's a file. Look here, that's been generated, and I can move that. Let's put that just like in my. Oops. Why can't I put it in there? Oh, because there's already one called Twitch. Let's not put it there. Let's move it to temp, and then let's go to temp. Oh, what's going on here? Sorry, I've pressed some mysterious button in my Neovim config that I don't know what it does. So, if you look here, I'm no longer in the Gleam project. I can just run Twitch. It does the same thing. Oh, although I've got some sort of like weird graphical glitch in my Neovim. What's that about? Let's try that. Let's try and fix that. There we go. Yeah, you can just now you can run Gleam code outside of the context of a project. So it just makes a single file executable. It's kind of like a bundler, but for Erlang programs. And we haven't directly touched any Erlang here. Didn't write any externals, but you can still use all that Erlang code that compiles things into like one single binary. Dud, who cares about Gleam language server? Doesn't it just give you autocomplete? No, not really. Like the autocomplete functionality in the language server is really bad at the moment. That's one thing it doesn't really give you. Can you add an external JS thing? Yeah. So you can add. So here we've got. So here you've got an external for Erlang. You could also say that there's a similar external for JavaScript. And let's say it's inside like my thing / whatever code. So that's completely valid. And then when you're running this code, if you're running on JavaScript, it will statically compile to the JavaScript implementation. If you're running on Erlang, it's statically passed to the Erlang implementation. So there you go. That's how it works. Gosh, I'm thirsty. All this talking. You should call. You should call JSON pass. Yeah. So you would need to do a. For specifically this one, you would need to, because it's all based around modules. So this is an ES module. So this is the name of the ES module. This is the function in the ES module. But that doesn't quite work for things like JSON to parse because the global scope is not an ES module. It's some object. So you need to write an ES module that takes things from the global scope and exports them as well, just exports them really. Pretty straightforward stuff, really. There's no such thing as JSON. Oh yeah, JSON to pass. Is that what it is? So in practice, JavaScript Gleam libraries do use loads of things on the global scope. In fact, if you want, we're talking about JSON here. So like, let's remove Twitch and let's go over to JSON. This is the Gleam JSON library. And if you look for the decode, this is written in a more convoluted way for reasons. The JavaScript one uses JSON stringify and JSON parse. See? And the Erlang one uses JSON decode from the Erlang standard library. So this is why I was messing around with the new version of Erlang OTP, because they've got a new built-in JSON parser. Sounds a bit weird, right? Like Erlang didn't have a built-in JSON parser until now, like literally a few days ago. So I've been upgrading all the Gleam stuff to work with that. You'd still need the Erlang VM installed on your machine. Yeah. So if you want to use an e-script, you still need it installed. That's why it's much closer to like a JavaScript bundler than it is to say like a Rust or Go compiler type thing. Slightly different, you know. Until now, isn't that thing 40 years old? Yeah. Erlang's actually older than Java. It's older than Haskell. Erlang's an old language. They just never had a JSON parser. Everyone just got it from the package system, which I actually don't mind. I think that's actually quite a nice decision. The reason I'm excited by this new JSON library is that it's really fast. Up until now, the fastest Erlang parser is one that I maintain, and I don't want to maintain it anymore. And Mikhail's written a significantly better one. So he wrote one in Elixir. I copied it and translated it to Erlang, so the Erlang people would have a fast one as well. And then I used that in Gleam. And then he wrote a whole new one that wasn't based off of his Elixir one that's even faster. So awesome, we all win. Yeah, but it's not meant to be used as a web thing at the start. Yeah, and like the things that are important and fashionable in the 80s are not the things that are important and fashionable now. Like JSON didn't exist in the 80s. When was JSON invented? I feel like early 2000s? Maybe? Early 2000s, yeah. He first talked about it in 2001. So that's like 20 years. 20 years for a project to not have this. It has things for XML. It has things for FTP. Doesn't have anything for JSON, or didn't have anything for JSON up until now. But then they needed it for, you know, the people who maintain Erlang care a lot about telecommunications, Ericsson, and then they needed a JSON parser for, I can't remember what, some telecommunications thing uses JSON. So like, we need a JSON parser, and that was what pushed them over the edge, I think, to make a new, better one. Mostly designed for network. That's why the Erlang binary parsing capabilities are insane. It's true. Erlang's amazing for bit manipulation. Oh my gosh! Fuey, thank you so much. I've got a 3-month sub. Oh my gosh, thank you so much. I really appreciate that. That's awesome. I don't have many subs. I'm pretty new to this stuff, so like that's really cool. That's really cool. You've made my evening. I'm glad I decided to stream now. Hey, and a hype train has started, of which I don't know is. Oh, an FFF9 to subscribe with Prime. Oh, you're the best. And I've got a little crown floating above my head. I don't know if, is that my, I'm not sure if that's my crown or yours. Oh, gosh, it's very loud, isn't it? Oh, Roshax, oh my gosh. Thank you so much. I'm announcing them. Oh, I gotta like, oh no, I clip off too early. Just pretend, there we go. Oh wow! Oh gosh, who is it? And 07. Thank you so much. Fuey, you've started something. You know, that's amazing. I've not had that much excitement in a very long time. Any remember files from PHP? I remember being confused by them, but I've not really looked properly at PHP since I was like pretty new to programming, so I'm not entirely sure. Although I keep seeing Laravel crap up. Laravel looks really cool. I think there's a lot to love about Laravel. Turning into a Prime stream. Yeah, I'll happily take all your Prime stuff. 100%. I've completely neglected YouTube chat. What's going on over here? Andrew Top says, hi Louis. Hi. Good to see you, pal. Good to have you. Oleg Olo asked probably a million years ago, because I don't remember when it was. Give the config for Neovim for Gleam. Oh, this is actually what I was planning to do today. I was actually writing docs on the language server. That's why the stream is called something or other about the language server. I can't remember. So just before I went on stream, I wrote. Oh wow! Wait, what? What? Through force, that's mean. YouTubers used to be neglected as through force. Okay. Austin Daly gifting a sub. But I'm confused. Hold on. Are you even subscribed? Oh, you are sub. Okay. I thought you were not subscribed and you were like gifting a sub. I was like, what? Thank you so much. Everyone, you're so kind. This is super wonderful. It's probably Malky's fault, right? You know, getting the whole ball rolling with that amazing raid. I've accidentally opened someone's profile. How do I close it? Yes, lol. Got a founder badge. I'm a big boss. You really are. Which one is it? Let me see the. Oh yeah. Founder, 2 month subscriber, gift leader 1. Hell yeah. When in doubt, blame Malky. I'm going to do that. In fact, I'm going to... Oh my gosh! What? What's going on? Oh my gosh, unreal. I'm going to have to a really stern word of Malky, because like these subscriptions have got completely out of control. Ed, thank you so much. This is all Ed's fault and Melky's and everybody else's, really. This is a Pirate Software stream now. Who's at Pirate Software? Oh, Fury's doing another gifts all around, eh? Fantastic. And also, let's not ignore the fact that Cookie Monster 7531 has just followed. Oh gosh, what was I doing? Oh yeah, this thing. I was writing this document here. Oh, YouTube chat's fighting back. I've got no way. I need like YouTube noises to come up as well. But Kieran Dave with the, what is it called? A super like over in YouTube chat saying, ignore us at your own peril. It's feral over here. This would be really good use for that, like that Twitch bot. If we could do like oh my gosh, Robert Cannon's gifted 5 memberships over in YouTube. YouTube are fighting back. This is it. Okay, we need like big flashy explosions when YouTube do people. We need to write a little Gleam Twitch bot that connects to the Twitch IRC. Oh my gosh, Pistol Peter. That's a cool name. That's really cool. And Tosties and Rosso79com both followed as well over in Twitch. Oh my gosh, folks. YouTube can make it rain as well. It's not YouTube that's doing that, Rob. It's you. You're making it rain. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, everybody. Don't get your business casual khakis in a bunch, YouTube. Oh my gosh, you folks are being mean. This is where I announce that I'm actually I'm dropping both of y'all and I'm gonna go stream on Twitch. No, Twitter, the other one, Twitter. I cannot believe I got a free sub. Yeah, I mean so at the moment there are, there's actually quite a few people in YouTube. I tabbed over and it said 3 viewers. I was like, wow, really? How did you manage to give out 5 subs if there's only 3 viewers? But then it went, and it popped up to like 30. But in Twitch there's like 116 of you. So like YouTube has to bring your A game. Do you think each of you could take on like vastly more people? It's going to be quite a fight. Great work. Emotes are being delivered to supporters. I'm not sure what that means. I'm still not really sure how Twitch works, to be honest. I'm a compiler guy. I don't really know anything about Twitch, to be honest. I was very happy that I got that thing to happen. That was cool. Anyway, so there was something in here that I was going to show you before I got extremely rudely derailed by everyone being extremely kind to me. Like, really? Oh, what was it? Something to do with, it wasn't installation, features? Features? Maybe if I scroll up, I'll see what the last messages are. What was the thing I was gonna like, what was the thing that we weren't sure about with, oh, Neovim config, it was installation. There we go. New hype train record, oh yeah. Neovim setup, thank you so much, Pistol Pete. Pistol Peter Russell. The masterful Pistol Peter Russell. So, Neovim. Let's hop over here. Neovim's Neovim config includes configuration for Gleam. Install Neovim config with your preferred plugin manager, and then add the language server to your init.lua. So there you go. That's all you need to do to add Gleam to Neovim. It's just require lsconfig, the official bundle of language server configs, .gleam.setup, done. And then you probably want syntax highlighting as well, which is not provided by the language server. You, for that, can just run ts install Gleam. So it's really cool how you don't need any plugin, really, for languages anymore in Neovim. Neovim's awesome. I've got a new hype train record. Yeah, share. Let me press that share button. What does it do? Oh, it says choo choo. Oh, the language will be automatically started. Pink Joshi, thank you very much. Let's commit that. Thank you, Pink Joshi. Boom. Updated a website. Kieran Dave says, look, I've got, oh, Kieran's got like a cool, like a little Lucene. Okay, so this is like the big advantage of YouTube, right? If you're a YouTube, is it member? Kieran, is it because you're a member you've got the Lucy? But like next to Kieran's name, there's Lucy, like the little I must have somewhere got the website open. Lucy, it's got Lucy next to the name. So cool. Anyway, Kieran said, look, I've got to defend the YouTube stream products. I was SRE for YouTube Network Edge for years. I will stand. That's a cool job. That's really cool. That's awesome. Hey all says what to say. Hey. You can create a custom subscriber badge for Twitch subscribers. I know I can do that. However, I know almost nothing about Twitch, and the fact that I managed to get that thing to work was quite impressive, I thought. Just making it so I could stream to Twitch and YouTube took like way longer than I was expecting. Neovim's Mason tells me that Gleam is deprecated. Gleam isn't deprecated. The Mason package for Gleam is deprecated. I really wish that package didn't exist. It's infuriating. And the reason is Gleam is really cool. End of explanation. No, the reason is if you look at Gleam, it's got all these different commands it can run. You may notice there is a Gleam build. How handy. Let's go into Gleam project. That makes more sense. There we go. So there is a Gleam build. Oops. There's a Gleam build. Oh, look, I've got deprecation messages because it's standard library. There is a Gleam test. Oh, how exciting. We can run some tests. Gosh, they are a lot slower when I'm streaming than when I'm not streaming. Size object match state terminal allowed. What on earth does that mean? I'm sure my computer's just trying to show me up anytime I'm on the stream. Anyway, there's Gleam formats, which you can like pretty print all your code for you. And Gleam hex for working with the package manager. And Gleam, yeah, all sort of stuff. Anyway, you may notice one of them is Gleam LSP, and that's because the language server is built into the binary. Like, you don't need to install a separate language server. You just love the error messages. Yeah, Erlang error messages are just, oh. For Erlang, that's very descriptive. So you don't need to install anything if you've got Gleam installed. You just use the language server that's built into the binary. And anything that's you explicitly don't want to manage them separately, because you want to make sure that the language server version perfectly matches your project's version, right? So if you use Mason, it means that it completely ignores whatever version you're using for your project, and it has its own sandboxed version of the entire language toolchain inside Neovim. And you can't change the version at all. And so people would constantly be open issues being like, my project isn't working properly. And that's because, oh, it's because you're using Mason. So like your project is running on a completely different version to what your editor is using. It was really annoying. So I had to like talk to the Mason people and like slowly convince them over a month, like, hey, can we please remove this? Because people keep installing Neovim and then they add it to their Mason LSP config. Mason would automatically install a second copy of Gleam, and then everything would just stop working. It sucked. It was super annoying. So it's fixed now. But now we just forever have to live with a package that says, hey, this is deprecated. And then people just ask me like twice a week, like, why is it deprecated? It's like, it's so annoying. Whoever made that package was trying to be helpful, and in other circumstances would be super helpful. You know, they just didn't, they didn't, and I didn't, and I wouldn't have originally understood the nuance of the situation because I didn't know how Mason worked. But now we just, you know, through circumstances, we just have to deal with this now forever. Good evening from Sweden. Been playing with Gleam and like most of it, except for the long dot Gleam. That comes from Toby Dillis. Thank you very much, Toby. Although I gotta say, like, if the fact we have like a why was I doing that? 5-character file extension is your biggest problem with Gleam, like, we're doing all right. Yeah, that's pretty good. Instead of deprecated, it should have that noise that you make every time someone highlights it. Give the people Lucy badges. That's what they want. Oh dear. Maybe we're like an hour and a half into this stream. Maybe we should start, maybe very slightly thinking about doing the thing that I said I was going to do at the beginning of the stream. I'm not sure I want to. What to say says GLM as a file extension. Okay, let's find this out. File extension. Is there like a database, file extensions.org? Yeah. Whoa. Look at this website. A very modern looking cookie banner. And then just the most delightfully old school website. So .glm search. This is the file extension for Glum data. For, gosh, this is tiny, this text. For Glum data, for DInsight Modeling Studio 3D CAM model, and for Brain Voyager QX Glum analysis for result data. This is not bad. I'm not sure what Glim data is. It could be worse. Strange2X says, hey Louis, long time. Hey, oh, you're saying long time, but from your username, I'm not immediately sure when we met. When did we last meet? Embrace long extensions. Yeah, listen to Max here, whose name's definitely Max. I'm a big fan of the long names. Glim is a global lithological map? What does that mean? Oh man, I failed. I did so badly with all the geography modules in my degree. It's a map that has geochemical, mineralogical, and physical properties of rocks embedded into it. That's cool. I don't want to compete with these folks. They clearly know what they're doing. Like this is cool stuff, right? So we can't have Gleam. We can't have Gleam. Maybe we could have. Oh no! What is this? Wait, how do you close the ad? Oh no, no! Do not download things. Oh my gosh. Glam? No, no, nothing found. We should rename the language to Glam. You know, just get like could be 20% more efficient. Gleam is cool too. Yeah, I like the fact that you look at the file extension Gleam and you're like, what's it for? It's for Gleam. You know, that's cool. And you write it once. So let's think about it. So if you're writing a say I'm writing a program, I'm going to write let's write a new module. I'm going to write Twitch. If I had to write Gleam, oh my gosh, there's 5 characters. Imagine if it's just GL, it'd be much easier, but we've got to do Gleam. Or just G. Let's go crazy. Let's say just G, but I've got to write the whole thing .gleam. Gosh, that means I could save. Oh, there you go. I've used all of the characters that I've saved. Like we write text for a living. Why are we trying to save 4 characters per file? Toby, I'm playing. I know you're just being silly. Good to have you, man. Oh, but yeah, embrace long extensions, embrace big modules, embrace verbose but clear code. Brevity is often not a good thing to aim for, I think. Maybe I'm getting old, but I'm like, I want my code to be easy to understand, easy to work with. That doesn't necessarily mean it is the smallest that fits on the page, you know. Hey, Kuturin, how's it going? And the guy that unfortunately went for production deployment and came back yes, I do remember. I do remember. How's it going? Did you succeed at your production deployment? I hope you haven't been deploying to production for literally weeks. I used to work at a company that had a production deployment every 2 months, and it took 3 days. It took from Friday evening to early Monday morning. I really did not stay at that company very long. I worked at a really amazing startup. We deployed like many times a day, and then we got bought by our technically superior market leader, and we're like, oh, that's how you deploy, is it? Oh, and it doesn't work half the time, so they have to do the next weekend of like 2 solid days of work. Oh, and they don't get time off in lieu, so that's just like they work Monday to Friday, and then they just have to give up like 1 in every 5-6 weekends. Cool culture, good technology. Well done. I really like the idea of having just one way to do the same thing. Yeah, you know, that I think that Gleam being tiny is such a lovely thing. So I claimed I was going to like try and work on this thing. Maybe we will. Maybe we will. Maybe we won't. What things have I filled in? Let's try and fill in the code actions. We try and work out what ones we got. So I think we have at least 2 code actions. One of them is remove unused imports. I think that's one of them. I don't remember what the other one is. 3-day deploy. Ha, that is like baby. At Google, the front-end config is mandated to roll out weekly. Weekly? Is it that like, it's not that the deployment takes a week though, is it? It's that like they only do it every week. Because this place we deployed, I think it was every 2 months. I couldn't remember if it was like, it might be 6 weeks or it might be 2 months, something like that. But it took 3 days. It took like 2.5 days. Or more accurately, they claimed it took a day, and it always took 2.5 days. Something went wrong. We haven't deployed in 6 weeks, and something's gone wrong. Who could have foreseen this? Well, it clearly is really dangerous. Maybe we should do every 2 months. It's dangerous. Let's do it less often. Oh, I hated that company so much. I think they're going bankrupt, which I'm very happy about. Had to deploy into prod on this Friday afternoon. It was a hotfix though. Ooh. I try and deploy all the time. I like, not that I really run any software anymore, but like I'd always try and like, you know, deploy every hour. Maybe do it by cron, like every hour, it just like deploys everything. If you're not going to have it triggered by git commits, just be like, yeah, just whatever, you know, all the time. Gleam should support infrastructure as code. Well, I guess you could, because there's like the whole Terraform's not very in vogue anymore, is it? What with the horrible relicensing thing, but there's like Terraform. What's it called? It's got the worst name of any piece of software ever. Terraform Cloud Developer Kit. Is that what it's called? CDK, Cloud Developer Kit. Yes, this thing. It's like this like. I've got a stammer. Why on earth am I streaming? I can't even talk properly. That's not me taking the mick at people with stammers. I literally have a stammer. There's this whole Terraform thing, which is when Pulumi came along and was like, "Hey, we're better than Terraform," and they went, "Oh, yikes! Oh, we got to make our own version of it." So you just got to use the really nicely named Kajikfa. What? Who named this? And it's like I don't know. I haven't looked at how it's implemented, but I'm guessing there's just like a bunch of JSON specifications you got to implement, and you write to your instead of using the absolutely rubbish language that they've got, you can write TypeScript or Python or Java or C# for some reason, or Go. Maybe we could draw a little box on here and say Gleam. What do you think? So you could do infrastructure as code that way. I personally think that infrastructure code, because it's like you're generating a static config entirely. I think that might be a situation in which you want more brevity than Gleam will give you. I think I would want to do my infrastructure as code with like a typed version of JSON. JSON Ed? Is that how you spell it? Yeah, I feel like this is the kind of thing I would want to use to generate my infrastructure as code stuff. I could be wrong though. I like that it's more constrained in terms of like what it can do. Yeah. Gleam is constrained, but not necessarily in the ways that are best for making declarative configs, I think. SDKTF. Yeah, that's a terrible name. There is Dahl. Yeah, that's true. Dahl looks really good. It looks, it's a bit complicated though. And then like a bunch of tools that I used to follow that use Dahl have stopped using Dahl. I've not really been following them enough to say why, but it seems like there's less Dahl excitement than there used to be. There's Q as well. But Q looks like I hear people, advanced users of it, and it sounds really cool. But then if you just try and learn how to use it, it has just like extremely complicated and distinct terminology to anything else I've seen, which makes it really not very approachable. The one that I think looks really cool but no one seems to be using is I think I've spelled nickel wrong. No, I haven't spelled nickel wrong. Amazing. This one, anything from Twig is probably going to be amazing. Seems to be the situation. Did they have an example? No, they've got, no, come on. Nico. Look at that, it looks quite nice, doesn't it? It's sort of kind of ML-y. You know, if you're a JavaScript-y, OCaml person, probably looks familiar. It's got the whole like nice types thing. That's pretty cool. All right, I got to try and fix the thing. I've said something. Oh, there's $1 in it. Is that going to work? Run. Hey, it compiles, and I can output JSON or YAML or TOML, I don't know. I think Nickel looks really cool. I've not seen it really used for anything yet, though. What's it written in? Oh, it's Rust, so it must be good. Unfortunately, I'm a Nix user, so nothing looks complicated to me. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. Oh, Elolas. It's Rust, by the way. Thank you for following. Right, I'm gonna take a bathroom break. I'll be back in like two whole minutes. If I can remember how my whole video setup works. Where's my interact screen gone? There it goes. Jumped onto the wrong page. Do do do. Do do do. Oh, never mind that. Let's answer a question first. Could you folks hear that motorbike? That was loud. Sonic Kazoo followed me. Thank you very much. Much appreciated. Everyone's been extremely kind this this stream. I really want to say thank you. It means a lot. And a lot of it's Melky's fault. Thank you very much, Melky. Billy Ground X. I like the X. Extra cool. Oh, there's a little flashing button down here. What does this do? What happens if I press that? Chat settings. Nothing happened. Etocetera. Nice. Thank you very much. Thank you for the follow. Good to have you. Why is this not working? Right. Okay. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to have a 2-minute break, and then I'll be right back with you folks. Let me do the thing. 2-minute break. And then where's the 2-minute break button? There it is. I'm a competent streamer. All right, bye-bye. See you in a second. Oh, it's me. I'm back. Very exciting. I'm gonna have another. Let's turn the camera on. Oh, it's me. Amazing. I'm having such a great time. I'm having such a lovely time. Although I never did find out if Paul is my good friend Porus or not. Dark Star 0013. I like the 00. Like you really got a lot of confidence that there's going to be a lot of Dark Stars to come. There's going to be at the very least 999 other Dark Stars to really fill up all those digits. I was going to shout your name because it's all in caps, but no, maybe I shouldn't do that. Miano, thank you so much for the follow. Much appreciated. Oh, and Beats Ball as well. Beats Ball. That reminds me of like Final Fantasy 10. That. Does anyone remember that game? Is it just me? Am I being old? Anyway. Vim 2. So the big question. Can you use Gleam with our Lord and Savior Phoenix framework? Oh, so good. What a great framework. Oh, they've also got a wavy background. I didn't know that. Did you know that? Because we've got a wavy background. Look. Huh. Did we copy it from them? Or did they copy it from us? I also don't believe these are live. This is a lot of tweets for... Twitter doesn't have an API anymore as well. Okay, so I spoke earlier about how easy it is to use Elixir and Gleam together. And so, you know, it really does beg the question, can I use this amazing framework that everybody loves, like the world's most loved web framework? And the answer is yes, but like with a big star next to it, you know. Like you can 100% make a Gleam project, add Phoenix as a dependency, and start using all of those modules that's inside Phoenix. Yesn't, says Mo. Oh, grubology. Ah, that's the subject I dropped out of at university. But there's a few different angles to approach the but from. Oh dear, oh dear, don't clip that. That's no. Dexterous Walrus, thank you. Let's talk about something else. Dexterous Walrus, thank you for the follow. Well-Tied Witch, you've just approached us as you've just joined us as we're approaching the but. The question is, can you use Phoenix with Gleam, or can you use Gleam with Phoenix, whichever way? And the answer is yes, but with a big but. And then we got slightly derailed. And there's a few different buts here. One of the buts is what is amazing for Elixir may not necessarily be amazing for Gleam. You know, there's no such thing as a perfect design for a framework that works with all languages and every constraint sets and everybody's personal tastes and all these sorts of things. When you're designing a framework, Mac, okay, thank you, Max. Thank you for clipping that. Much appreciated. Floor 902, thank you very much. I'm being cyber bullied. So like when you're designing a program, a library, a framework, and anything really, you're designing it with the set of tools that you're giving with the language, and you're designing it for those constraints and those strengths and those weaknesses. And Phoenix is brilliant. I think Phoenix has really well distilled. That's an Elixir pun for you there. What makes Elixir fantastic? No, I thought my cat was trying to get in. And so they make really good use of all the OTP stuff. They make really good use of pattern matching. They make really good use of Elixir syntax. But possibly most relevant here, they make really good use of macros. Elixir, in my opinion, is secretly a Lisp. Don't tell anyone, but I think it's a Lisp because they've got the whole Lisp macro system going on. Just because it doesn't have parentheses doesn't really matter. They've got some other representation for the AST. But that's the thing that really makes it stand out from the other Bean languages. It has this whole macro thing going on, and they use it really well. But the problem with Elixir macros, or not really a problem, but like a a characteristic of Elixir macros is that you can only use them from Elixir, because they're about the Elixir compiler seeing some code and expand it and then evaluating it and expand it and evaluate it, and it keeps doing that until it stabilizes, right? You can't do that in Erlang. You can't do that in Purell. You can't do that in LFE. They've got their own different macro system that's very similar, but it's not the same one. You still can't evaluate each other's macros, and you definitely can't do that in Gleam, because our compiler isn't even running on the same runtime, eh? Lisp in Ruby clothing, yeah, exactly. You know, it's a Lisp that has a lot of the aesthetics of Ruby, and the conveniences, and it has the powerful runtime concurrency and all this lovely stuff that you get in Erlang. What a great mix! And so I think that even if you could have, you know, you can't use all those macro pieces inside Gleam. And so if you take away the macros from Phoenix, you've got quite a different framework. One that I'm not sure is actually that one that you love so much. It's still actually really good. I have tried it, but it's not the same. The other thing is that even, you know, let's say you could use macros. The framework is designed for the strengths of the Elixir language. Awesome, really cool. That's fantastic. They've done a great job. It's not designed for the strengths of the Gleam language, right? It's not designed to be typed. It uses a lot of function overloading. The you know, really obvious example in the context of Phoenix, you can't type a plug reliably. Like they don't compose in a way that lends themselves to type checking. So you're gonna have a undertyped set of you're gonna have an undertyped framework where each middleware can't enforce things. Shoot. At the type level. So I'll give you an example. If I can find an example. How do I find a Phoenix application really quickly? Does anyone know where I can find one? Oh, Fly's got one, haven't they? Fly Elixir Phoenix example. It was like something to do with music. Live beats, here we go. This one, this is really cool. Oh gosh, try and find it. Let's get rid of the word example. I'm slowly getting there. Fly beats, here we go. Live beats. Live book, that's another one. Gotta go, see in the Discord. See you, friend. Right, so let's look. Let's have a concrete example, eh? I'm being a thought leader. I have opinions. Hopefully, you're going to listen to them. Endpoint. So the endpoint in a Phoenix application is where you compose all your middlewares together. And they do it with a macro DSL. So you know you've got all these like special macros called plug. And it generates a function that composes them all together in a particular way. And the way it composes them is by saying, oh, this is complicated. It calls the function and it gets the return value. And then the return value is this connection object. And it looks at the connection and says, have you sent the sent property to true? Yes. Okay. Then we just like finish. We're done. Oh, have you set it? Is it set to false? Oh, then I call the next one. And then I call the next one, and then I call the next one. It does that. So that means you can't. This is so abstract and really hard to explain. It is not possible. I'm just going to state it. I'm not going to try and demonstrate it. I'm just going to have to state it because I don't have a good enough way of demonstrating it. Where is the pass socket endpoint static live reload? Don't care about those. Request log, don't care about that. Parsers, here we go. So here you have to have this middleware called plug parsers in order to parse a JSON body, right? It reads the body off the connection and then it will parse it as either Euro encoded form or a multi-part form or JSON. And that works great. You know, you just say like, oh, cool, I know that inside my live beats web router that I can use JSON. And I know that because I look up and I say, like, the parser's here and it's down here. And if I mess it up, I get a runtime error. That's okay, I'm an Elixir developer, I know that, and I fix that. In Wisp, which is like not an equivalent framework, but it is a web framework for Gleam, if you didn't parse your JSON, your program wouldn't compile. You know, there's no way for you to try and access a JSON body without previously having parsed it. And the reason for that is that we can use the type system. You know, we've lost macros, but we've got a type system in Exchange that's like very powerful. We can use that to enforce things about our programs. You know, say like, this part of the application, oh, well, you've always got to be an admin. Well, I guess you just write tests for that in Phoenix. No, let's enforce that with types. Your program will not compile if you try and do something that you need to be an admin for. Awesome. Or the request, you know, if you've got a path that is, you know, users and then the username, you know, like users Flimpy or users Roche, etc. like that. If you make a mistake and you try and pull out, if you say it's called ID instead of username, well, that's gonna fail. It's gonna crash. In Gleam, that doesn't happen. It just doesn't compile. So you know, right in developments, like way before you have committed your change, saved a file, committed your changes, pushed to a branch, made a pull request, saved it. Oh, the tests missed it. Oops. CI runs, someone approves it, gets merged to master, test run again, artifact is built, gets pushed to your staging server, no one catches it, gets pushed to your production servers, gets rolled out. It's like hours later, and your typo has just caused like some problem in production. Like that can't happen in Gleam, you know. So I don't think just taking Phoenix and just like dumping it into Gleam is gonna be optimal. You want to have a framework that is designed around like the tools that Gleam gives you. So you can do it, but like, I don't think it's the thing to do. Having said that, but here's a but for the but. This is like the you know, this is but number 3 or something. People do it, you know. There are Gleam whiskey tastings. I'm going to struggle here. That's a very generic word. Who made this as well? Yes, of course. My man. Okay. He hasn't updated this in a while. But this is a Phoenix application that has Gleam in it. And the way that he's approached this is, if you look at his, I've never read this, so I'm going to slightly fumble as I try and work out where the right places are. Should we look at the router? Pipe through browser. Where is the router? I didn't see no router. I'm confused. Where's the actual logic in this thing? Is it just one? Where's the homepage? Oh, just one page live. Okay, I see. Live, page live. Where is it? Here we go. So all this web view stuff. This is written in Elixir, and then it calls. Can I find it? Can I find some Gleam? Come on! Oh no! let's look at what the Gleam modules are called, and then it'd be easier to find the where they're used. Got some Gleam models. Oh, how exciting! And sources, master of malt. Oh, here we go. Gosh, this is like such old syntax that it doesn't get syntax highlighted anymore. It's maybe not the best example, but what's it called? It's called Master of Malt. Let's search for that. Oh, come on, you in here. Master of Malt. Okay, thank you GitHub. You're being really helpful there. Anyway. So at some point in his like Elixir web application, he just calls into the Gleam module, because after Gleam has been compiled, it basically is or I mean, it literally is just an Erlang module. So you can, if you're used to using Erlang modules in your Elixir code, it's exactly the same as with Gleam. The only things that are trickier, like a few things around tooling, really. So and marshalling between. So in Gleam we use records, which are used a lot more in Erlang. Elixir doesn't use records very often, so there's a bit of a thing. Bubblestones, thank you. Looks like sources in page live. Sources. Oh yeah, there we go. It's right there on screen. Thank you for the follow. Oh gosh, are we having a fight in Twitch chat? What's going on? Everyone be nice. I've been on a little bit of a rant and I look back and everyone's being what's going on? Why are we doing this, eh? Am I gonna have to hire some moderators? I ain't got no money, man. You're gonna have to subscribe. Twitch chat is just twitching. Yeah. Oh wait, no, that means something, doesn't it? Oh, not sure I want to think about that. So there you go. That's the answer to the question. Like, you totally can. And some people like have a lot of success with it, and it would probably be a good way for you if you have, say, an Elixir application. You want to start adding some Gleam. You want to start experimenting with it. It's probably a really good way to do that. However, if you're starting a new project from scratch, I'd say like maybe just dive in. Like, let's try and maybe like. I think we can get something even richer and more fulfilling for the kind of people who like this style of programming that Gleam gives you. And it's also a nice opportunity to like really flesh out all the stuff in the ecosystem that are not as mature as you find in the Phoenix ecosystem. I think it's exciting being in a language so close to the beginning. I think a big part of the reason why I'm here. And I was able to get people to pay attention to Gleam at the beginning. Oh, excuse me. Gosh, very rude. Is because I joined Gleam. No, I joined like the Elixir community just as it reached version 1, and I was able to go, oh, we don't have one of these. Oh, okay. Well, let me try and make one of those things and build stuff. And if you're enthusiastic and polite and kind and make useful things and share them with people are really responsive to that. Small communities are awesome. You can make a name and then you grow as the community grows. That's great. Like that is 100% what I did with Elixir. And you can do that again with Gleam. You can do that again with Zig. You can do that again with all sorts of different things. Anyway, 2 hours in, maybe we should think about doing that thing that I said that I was going to do at the very beginning of the entire stream. The one that this... Oh, wait, hold on. Why does my stream preview say that we're talking about the Erlang module? That doesn't sound right. Oh, that's weird. It's just like my creator dashboard's just glitched out. It's showing me a different title to the one that it's showing on the stream info. What? Twitch. Me. Come on. You can do it. I believe in you. Load. You can do it. Oh, wow. This guy looks cool. Come on. You can do it. Is that what I sound like? Oh dear. It's all got to be exciting. What can the Gleam Lang show do? I should have called it something else because that is like not at all what we're doing today, is it? Is it worth learning Erlang to take full... Oh gosh, this is Can I do like a Mexican wave? No, the latency's too big. Oh, here we go. Oh gosh, I'm getting disorientated. How do I go away from here? Oh, phew. Anyway, Popplestones asks, is it worth learning Erlang to take full advantage of Gleam? I think... So I'll talk from the point of view now as I continue on the thread of being a new Elixir developer. And this is a question we would ask a lot. Like, do we need to learn Erlang to be good at Elixir? And it wasn't clear at the beginning. And I think what most people sort of found is that if you just ignore it and you just work on, whatever the thing you want to make is, over time you sort of like, all those shared notes that are in these sibling languages like Elixir, Erlang, Gleam, LFE, you learn them from learning whichever language you're learning, and then you like see the parallels in these other languages. So like if you write Gleam for a while, you will, even if you don't have any particular interest in Erlang, you'll probably start to like pick up bits of it or start to understand bits of it that be much easier than if you just like went in and started trying to learn that one that is more alien to you straight away. So Haley, for example, she's in the core team. She made the really fantastic framework that I've misspelled 3 times now, luster.build. Really amazing front-end framework thing, written in Gleam, can do like server-side rendering, can do single-page applications like React kind of stuff. It can do live view stuff like Phoenix Live View. It's awesome, really cool. So she's very much like a JavaScript and Elm person, traditionally. And then we met and she started, writing Gleam. And over like a couple of years, she just sort of like, and she was like, oh no, I don't do backend. I don't know anything like that. No. I only run Gleam compiled to the front end. Don't know anything about Erlang. Oh no, not for me. And now just small little bits of like, oh, I need to do this. Oh, maybe I'm just gonna like take that code and copy it and then edit it. And he goes, oh wait, hold on, this like OTP thing looks an awful lot like the Elm architecture. It's like yeah, like it's like a little stateful thing that sends and receives messages and then it updates its state. Yeah, that sounds kind of familiar, right? And there's all these parallels that allow you to learn these different things. And now she's like, yeah, it's really cool that I like feel like I know how to make things with Erlang OTP, using the big actor system. So I think you just sort of end up picking it up if you hang around enough. But you don't have to. You can just completely ignore it. Oh, hello, newbie. Come on, little boy. The moment we've all been waiting for is the little boy. Yeah, this is newbie. He's little shit. Marley DX followed at exactly the right time. In fact, I thought now would be the time that all the subs would come in. Hello, honey. Hello, darling. It's actually so amazing how often T comes up. Yeah, and like T is explicitly a I keep saying explicitly because I just remember there being a blog post or a talk or something in which Evan talked about how the inspiration for T, the Elm architecture, like this really big influential thing, this design pattern, that was so big it inspired React's Redux, and that inspired many different JavaScript things after that. Hugely influential. From the beginning, he was saying, yeah, this was inspired by Erlang to the point where, let's see if I can find it. How does Elm work? Elm packages? No, I don't want a holiday. Gosh, I'm very thirsty. My mother also has a cat who's an arsehole. All cats are arseholes. That's why we love them. With a cat, you know where you stand with them. So Elm Core, the Elm standard libraries, has this one module that isn't really used very much called process. That's a familiar word, isn't it? What other programming environment has a concept called a process? I can't possibly think of what that might be. And here it's talking about, a process has an ID, a PID, if you will. A lightweight process that runs concurrently. You use a spawn function to get a bunch of different tasks running different process. The runtime interleaves their progress. Oh dear. Where does this link go to? Time sharing system. Oh, Tyrese, thank you very much for the follow, my friend. Yeah, I mean, this is just clearly, hold on. Even though GS runs at OS level, yeah, okay. And you can spawn, you can kill, you can sleep. Oh, all these things sound so familiar. And then future plans. This was written many years ago and nothing has changed. So I think we can safely assume that this is never going to happen. But right now, this library is pretty sparse. But we're going to have a send thing. Oh, here we go. Here we go. I think the trend will be towards the Erlang style of concurrency, where the process has an event queue, everything sends messages to it. I think the event API is going to be like this. It's just Erlang. Like Elm is just Erlang, like in terms of the architecture. But you have one state in Erlang, and you have many actors in Erlang. So yeah, it used to be functional reactive programming, so signals and all that shit. And they at some point someone showed Evan. Gosh, excuse me. Someone showed Evan Erlang, and he saw the lights. Here, have you got time to talk about our Lord and Savior OTP? So yeah, it's the same state pattern. So like, let's look at platform. So let's look at worker. A worker is it's an interface. You have to define init, which takes some starting argument they're called flags, and you return a model and any commands that you want to send. Oh, fmees. Thank you very much. Fmees. Was it fmees? Or maybe it's just mees, but it's like in Haskell they put f before it for functor. Maybe it's functor mees. So we've got an init, we've got an update, and we've got a subscriptions. Subscriptions like it's kind of an Elm. There's not as clearly a mapping from that onto OTP. But the main things are like init and updates. An update being you take a message and you take the model, and then you return a new model and a command you want to dispatch. Okay, OTP gen server. So gen server is like the basic building block of all of the whole actor system of Erlang OTP. Let's see if I can show this nicely. So callbacks. Here's the callbacks you need to implement in order to work with. It's going to be confusing to show, isn't it? Is there like an example somewhere? It'd be much nicer if I could show you an example. Maybe the Elixir docs are going to be easier to understand. Maybe. Let's do it. Okay, look. Oh, look. You've got to implement init. Oh, it takes some initial arguments and returns some initial states. That sounds familiar. What could that be? Oh, you've got to like handle messages. What's going on here? And you can choose to reply. Is that like dispatching a command? That might be. And you return, oh, the new state. Oh, look at that. It's the same thing. It's exactly the same thing. T is just like the whole gen server pattern, but just like put into one. Which is why, yeah, and Lustre sits somewhere in the middle because it's like Lustre can do recursive T. The thing about Elm is that everything has to share the same state atom, which is really annoying if you have like a singular component that you want to do its own thing. That's a real pain. What was the reasoning for compiling fmees? Oh, good. So it is functor mees. Good. They're the same picture. They are the same picture. It's true. They've both got weird syntaxes. Which one's better? Elm syntax or Erlang syntax? I'm quite fond of both of them, to be honest. Oh, okay. So, question from Juraj Petras. What is the reasoning for compiling Gleam to Erlang and not to Beam bytecode directly? This makes it basically a Beam Elm. Do you mean Beam Elm as in like literally this project by Kofi Gums? Beam Elm Kofi. I think his name's Kofi Gums, isn't it? The best domain ever. Look at that. Kofi.sexy. Oh, wait, no, don't know. Kofi.sexy. That's so cool. He's such a cool guy. Lovely man. I haven't spoken to him in a while actually. But he made this thing, Elm Beam, where he compiles Elm directly to Beam bytecode. Whoa! He even manages to get it. Like even finding the blog. Maybe the blog is going to be good or shit. It's just such a cool project. That's tiny. Can I make it bigger? No. Is it not letting me make? It's not letting me increase the size. There we go. It's just pressing the wrong button. Look at this. So like he's got a callback of init and handle call, and then go on, play it for me. Oh, I can't zoom in. Oh, this sucks. Okay, you don't get to be shown. So he compiles to Beam bytecode directly. Really cool. Excuse me, sorry about that. But the question is like, why didn't I do that? You know. Well, there's lots of reasons. First off, like the Elm compiler is really good. You know, they've been Elm has existed for, is it 40 years yet? Let's find out. Erlang Wikipedia. 38 years ago. So 38 years ago. So we're not at 40 years yet, but we're pretty close, right? And in that time, they've done a lot of really great stuff in the compiler. Like there's loads of awesome optimizations in there. I'm not sure if the JIT is part of the Erlang compiler, if that's part of the actual Beam virtual machine. I don't know. Anyway, there's loads of really good stuff there, and we want to take advantage of that. The other thing is that the Beam bytecode format is a moving target. You know, if we targeted Beam bytecode directly, every time there's a new version of the virtual machine, I wouldn't just go, oh, amazing, what cool new stuff is in the standard libraries that we could use to make our Gleam programs even better. I would be like, oh no, what's changed with the bytecode? Okay, maybe I've got to like, okay, we've got to rewrite a chunk of the compiler code generator to make sure we use the new opcodes. Oh, I'm going to optimize this way instead now. Oh, okay, that's better for the chip. Oh, I better do that instead. Nightmare. Absolute headache. Why would you bother? Like, if we targeted the Beam bytecode directly, we could possibly have a compiler that is a bit faster. Okay, yeah, maybe from like a fresh build, a non-incremental build, that would be really useful. But most of the time, you don't really. Most of the time, you're doing an incremental build, and like the Gleam part of the compiler is really fast. The Erlang one is no slouch. We're really good at caching. We're fine, I think. But your actual generated code would be slower. Your application wouldn't run as well. And we probably wouldn't be at V1 yet. We'd probably still be implementing all of these, you know, this integration with this virtual machine that we don't know as well. And the fact that, oh yes, I know, honey. Beam bytecode bad. Wow. Come here. Come here. Come here. No, or don't come here. Oh, okay, bye. Anyway. But if you target Erlang source code, like people understand, you know, people can understand Erlang or learn it relatively quickly, or at least enough so that they can get inside the compiler and go, oh, there's a bug. I want to contribute to fixing this bug. Oh, look, it's outputting this code. I can see what the problem is with this code. It shouldn't assign this variable. It should assign that variable. Well, let me try and fix that. But if you're just looking at a big page of opcodes, good luck with that. You know, people are not going to be able to contribute. There's like there's so many advantages to using this like high level stable interface compared to a low level one. And we're not the only language that's decided to do that. Elixir, there's a common misconception that Elixir compiles to Beam bytecode. It doesn't. Elixir compiles to Erlang. It does. It compiles to the abstract forms, which is just Erlang after you've run the parser on it. So it's exactly the same thing that Gleam compiles to. Oh, disaster! Awful. The double of your age. So, oh, we now know that you are... I can't do the maths. I can't maths on stream. Wait, I know how to do this. Wait, what's going on? Stop that. There we go. So 38 divided by 2. I know how old you are now. Haha. There we go. Yeah, and Roshex pointed out as the Beam bytecode documentation, the Beam bytecode documentation is not great. It's not. It's pretty rough, you know, and that's fine because like everyone who really like needs to intimately know about the Beam bytecode is living inside the compiler. They probably work at Ericsson. They probably work at WhatsApp. They're like intimately involved in this stuff. I'm not. I'm just some little British guy, you know. I'm just over here doing my own thing. Rule 1, never do maths on stream. Yeah, we did a bit of programming earlier. We're not doing that again. We did like a whole 2 minutes of programming. Or they work at Grindr. Yeah, slew the bird. That's a good point. Did you know that Grindr is an Erlang shop? Did you know Grindr, the hookup app, is written in Erlang? Erlang is used for all of the most important, reliable, fault-tolerant systems in the world, like Grindr. They had a job going in London a few years back, and I was like, yeah, let's do it. New math challenge. I was 13 when Erlang appeared. Ah, so you're a proper Erlang greybeard then. Do. Let it crash makes a lot more sense in that context. Explains a lot in that context. I was in school when Erlang created. Oh wow! So we've got. I'm used to being like one of the older people in the Gleam space for some reason. On one of the videos, I wonder if we find it on Theo's wonderful video about Gleam, which I loved. Theo is such a nice guy. Oh, sorry, folks. I've got to click this button, otherwise you can't see anything. Theo is such a lovely bloke. This one. Yeah. Anyway. Where is it? Do. Elixir for Gen Zs. Let's go. Yeah, I'll take that. Right, newbie? Oh, he is really unhappy. I'm going to go feed him, actually. Yes, I'm used to be one of the older ones, but I got a bunch of people who were around when Erlang was invented, and Erlang is older than me, so open source Grindr would be great. Do you really want to spend your time making Grindr? Isn't it just better just like, I don't know, just go out and party? Speaking of partying, I'm going to go feed my cat because he's going to be very unhappy with me if I keep ignoring him like this. That means I'm going to press the button that starts the 2-minute break, and then I'm going to go away for 2 whole minutes. Right, bye. Button. Wait, my microphone's still on. Hello. Hello, hello, hello. He was very hungry. Oh, and oh wow, you're being really appreciate the follow, but now I've got to try and say your name, and your name is GDFXQ. That's hard. And Foska. That much better. I like that. Foska feels like the name of a character from the most beautiful video game. I mean, this is one of the most beautiful video games. Whoa. Disco Elysium. But this game, The Outer Wilds, a game so close to my heart, which is no, I don't want a wiki. Do they not have a website? Oh, it's so pretty. Look at it. If you've not played this game and you trust me and you're curious, I'd say learn nothing about this game. Go in completely blind and just give it a good go. It's a weird game. It could take like a little bit of, it's like, I bounced off it once and I'm glad I tried it again because then I went, oh. I wish I could replay it for the first time again. It was so amazing. It was like emotionally important to me how good this game was. What a game. Maybe that's my new background. I'm gonna have something like this. From what I can tell, the Fediverse is exclusively run by catgirls, so it might be a good fit. I think that might be true. I think actually most of everything is just run by furries, right? Like, so I think it's actually quite dangerous to run like furry conventions, because like if something were to happen and all of those furries were to be incapacitated, the internet would just fall apart. We need them. They're holding everything together. They're all the greatest sysadmins, you know. I need to try and get that game Kayla's fiance did, where you build little games inside the game. Whoa, what? Designated Furry Survivor. That's a film. You should make that film. There we go. We gotta make it happen, folks. The game that Kayla's fiance was talking about, where you build little games inside games. I think I must have missed that whole conversation. I don't remember that. The style looks like Dishonored. It's not. It's really weird, actually. Like, it's like a really visually interesting and distinct game, and it had the Outer Wilds is fascinating. I don't want to show you too much because I don't want to give you any spoilers, because spoilers are super impactful in this game, but I'll tell you stuff about the programming of it. It's a game where they had 2 full-time developers, and it's set in a miniature solar system, and you're a person who walks around and you have a little spaceship and you fly around and you visit the planets. Physics is real in this universe. It's not like in most games where they just apply a force to you going down. Everything has mass, and you're attracted to things based upon mass. The only thing that's different is that the effect of gravity falls off logarithmically rather than linearly, and that just means that things can be really close together, because otherwise you'd be like, oh, I'm going to go to the next planet. You know, 15 minutes pass and you're still not there. You know, they make them really close together, and that's just because they just, you know, the forces fall off very quickly. But that means that, you know, the whole thing is simulated. It's not that they've scripted that the planets orbit each other. It's that the game starts with them having the right masses and the right initial force being applied to them, and they actually just like orbit each other because of the physics of gravity. That's amazing. And like and there's no singular flat plane in the entire game. Like when you're standing on something, you're standing on a curved surface. Like imagine having to write the code to be not just like to go down and sit on a static flat surface, to have like 2 things moving at high velocity through space, and they feel like they're like, you know, a person on standing on the ground. That's amazing. It's an absolute engineering masterpiece, and it was made by 2 people. That alone, just going through the game and being a programmer and being like, how on earth did they do this, is valuable alone. And then you discover like, oh, actually, It's an amazing game. Really, really weird. What physics game engine they use? I don't know. Let's find out. The Outer Wilds game engine. It's probably like Unreal or something. I don't know. Do you think we can like Unreal? Why'd you have to go and use the Unreal Engine? I guess so, and this person's unhappy about it. I guess. It's great. It's really, really great. It's also a video game that has no combat. Doesn't really have characters, doesn't have quests, there's no particular goal. It's just bizarre. It's great. I enjoyed The Witness. It tickled my brain to start working again. I've seen The Witness. Yeah, I don't know. I've heard like mixed things about The Witness. Some people really love it, some people really don't. It looks like a lot of time, if nothing else. I'm not sure about that. You choose your goals. That's what hooked you in Minecraft. Yeah. Except you don't make anything in the Outer Wilds. You're just like, the Outer Wilds is a game that's fueled entirely by curiosity, which I find really interesting. Like just going, I wonder what's over there. What happens if I do this? You know, that building a game around that emotion, that's hard. That's really hard. I've not seen anyone do it like that before. Oh, the other thing, in the Outer Wilds, if you're on a planet and you jump, you don't just go up, the planet goes down. Oh, it's so cool. I love it. I love it. It's just so clever. Everything's amazing. Proper physics. Anyway, there's my little game rant. Those are the two games that I will wholeheartedly recommend to everybody. The Outer Wilds has DLC. I've still had to play it. Yeah, me too. I'm trying to like forget as much as I can about the game so I can go back into it. But the problem is that you go back and you immediately just remember everything. I want to go in pure. I have bought the DLC. I will play it at some point. Oh dear. The DLC is meant to be like horror themed as well, which I'm not sure about. That sounds I'm a bit of a wuss. Having said that, I'm playing through Soma. I don't really play video games. I very rarely play video games, so I'm like playing through Soma like an hour every week. Seems cool. It's got a good atmosphere. Oh dear me. What should we do now? Should we do some actual programming? I said I was going to do some programming, and now it's been like 2 hours and 30 minutes, and we're talking about the Outer Wilds. Maybe I should just become a reaction streamer. What do you think, folks? Oh, Alexi. Oh, your surname is tricking me a bit. Lishavi? Lishavi? Maybe? Anyway, thank you very much for the follow. Much appreciated. Become a gaming streamer, just the Outer Worlds. So my problem with that is that I do my video gaming. So I, like all normal people, use Linux for gaming, and I use macOS for work, and I guess Windows would be for, I don't know, art or music or something. So all of my video gaming is done on a Steam Deck, which I have connected to my TV in the other room. And then how does one stream from that? I've also got I have actually toyed with the idea of like, I really love cycling. Cycling's amazing. I love bike riding. I love cycling through London. Maybe I become like a bike streamer, like the IRL real life streamers. So I've got my little my wee little camera that I use for trying to convince angry drivers to not kill me when I'm cycling. That's good that you've got to do that. But like, it would be cool if I could stream that, do you think? I don't know if anyone would watch it, and it would probably be quite confusing since my audience is like, I'm presuming developers, judging by like a huge chunk of you have dev as like the end of your name. But just like cycling around London, looking at things. I don't know what I would be saying other than it's like, gosh, I love cycling. And my knees hurt. I need to get like, I don't know, like a bunch of batteries and buy a massive data plan for my phone. And I don't know, I'm not sure how it works exactly, but I like the idea. Cheers from Ukraine. You almost pronounced my name correctly. Oh wow, I'm pretty happy with that. Oh wow. I don't think I've ever been to Ukraine. I'd like to when the war finishes. I've been to a fair few countries in that region, and I really like them. Back when I used to travel for work, because I have an Irish Catholic upbringing, and there's just like there seems to be like a lot of like shared notes in terms of like the humor, and like the sort of like the humor and like the way you look at life and reflecting yourself. There seems to be a lot of notes that's similar between like the Irish Catholic diaspora and like Eastern Europe stuff. I just really like it there. It's nice. There's a guy who puts "I'm a dick" style bumper stickers on cars for people who don't return their shopping carts. You could do the same thing cycling. I mean, I might have something for you there. I really, really dislike. I would like to say I've never used these stickers, but I do own them. And they are, if I ever see someone parked really badly, if you see someone who's illegally parked on the pavement, I really like them to regret that. Give me a little message. I have not used them. I'm a law-abiding citizen. I've got this one as well. I like stickers. Stickers are cool. These stickers are better though. These are the best stickers. Yeah. Oh, I'm shedding them. So if you ever meet me IRL, you can get some Lucy stickers. I've got a whole bunch of them. I miss being in Elephant and Castle. If you cycle around there, I would watch. Okay, I do love Elephant and Castle's a nice area. It's a little bit of away from me. I'm in Camden, which is like northwest. Are you sticking those in the street? I'm not sticking them anywhere. I saw them because I thought they were funny, and I'm not sure what to do with them yet. I think the idea is that you put them on cars, but I'm not sure I'm ready for that level of confrontation yet. We'll find out. Have you been tagging London with Lucy stickers? There may be a few places in London where you can find Lucy stickers. Particularly if you go to various rock dive bars around Camden, in the toilets you may find Lucy stickers. Oh. Kayla got me one. It's on my laptop. Oh, awesome. That's nice. Hopefully I get to go to the UK soon. Yeah. We should do another London Gleam meetup. The last one that we did for version 1 was really fun. It was really nice. And someone came from... where did they come from? Someone came from the Netherlands, I think. Like they literally got a flight to London to hang out with us for like 3 hours and then stay in a hotel and then went home. What? I was like, oh dear, am I like contributing to like the climate crisis by encouraging people to do international travel to hang out at the pub with me? I thought it was just going to be like anyone who was in North London, or maybe some people from slightly outside of London. Like, no, I'm going to travel from mainland Europe. Okay. Oh, Bobblestones, you're in Australia? Hi from Belgium. I'd love a Gleam sticker. Oh, Kennedy, thank you for the follow. I'm in Finland now, but I would like to go back to London for a meetup. Okay, so the thing is, like, if there's a situation in which like a bunch of folks are in, a bunch of Gleamlins are in London, like we can just do an impromptu, not like a whole talks and things, but like we can just go hang out, like have a little Gleam social at the pub. That would be nice. I remember, so Jack's amazing. Jack does so much work inside the compiler. Oh, where's my mouse gone? Jack, Gleam. Oh, I've spelled Gleam wrong. Oh, my neck's a bit stiff. There's only one G in Gleam. There's no I in team, but there is a me. Contributors. So last year or so. Here we go. Jack. The amazing Jack is Italian. Lives in, I think, like the northeast bit of Italy. I don't know. I'm not very good at I'm not very good at geography, let alone Italian geography. and he was on holiday with his brother, who was a very talented baker, I'm told, possibly famously so. And so they were on holiday, and he was like, "Oh, I'm going to be in London. It'd be cool if we could meet up." I was like, "Yeah." So we booked a really lovely sort of like pizza bar thing, and we like hung out. It was near Paddington. It was a really lovely time, and I think Haley came from Bath, and Danielle came from was it Nottingham or somewhere? Yeah. Anyway, it was lovely, super chill. So we can just have an excuse. We just use it as an excuse to get people together, because the most rewarding thing about software, I think, other than the paying your bills and not starving to death, that's pretty good, is the people you work with. Gleam would be much less interesting to me if I didn't have all you folks to talk to with. Probably I think ideally it would be with, but in reality there's quite a lot of talking at. It's the community is the really rewarding, exciting bit, and I think that's the fact. I think that maybe that's part of the reason why Gleam is having the success it does. We focus on not just making the language excellent and the compiling and the tooling and all that stuff, but people join the Discord, have fun, hang out on Twitch, watch me do 2 minutes of programming for every 2 hours, 39 minutes and 2 seconds, 3 seconds, 4 seconds of streaming time, eh? Please organize it. Yeah, maybe we should do it. I don't know. So the other thing is that we there's European conferences. I think I'm going to go to the next Code Beam that's in Berlin. I think I'm going to go to that one. That looks really nice. I don't do much international travel, but that one is good. And Berlin's a really fun city. So if we want to go to a techno party after talking about Gleam, I hear Berlin's pretty good for partying. I think I'm probably the only one testing Gleam for the Emacs editor, says EcoCode. EcoCode is a cool name. I like that. Yeah, I think we could do with more help with Emacs, because we've got, what is it, Gleam mode? We've got this, which was made by the lovely Jonathan. But I think, Jonathan's, such is the nature of open source. He's busy with life stuff, right? Oh, it doesn't work anymore? No? Okay, sure. And so I think we've got we've half rewritten the plugin to be for the new format or something. I'm butchering this because I must plead complete ignorance when it comes to how Emacs works. So yeah, we've done a bunch of the updating stuff. Oh, Shane. I miss Shane. Shane is amazing. Shane stopped being a programmer to be an electrician, I think. He did an amazing talk about Gleam. It was great, in which he spent the entire time talking shit about pasta or something and comparing Gleam to different types of spaghetti sauce and things. It made no sense and it was beautiful. I absolutely loved it. But yeah, I think we're just slightly struggling to get the Emacs tooling over the line, just because we don't have enough people who do Emacs. We've got Z people like Infoforce, we've got Helix people, we've got Neovim people, we've got VS Code people. We don't have Emacs people very much. So if you've got any Emacs wizards in the place, oh my gosh, we could really do with your help. Bonjour, says Lorenzo. Was that like a general greeting, or is that I'm an Emacs person? But the tricky thing from my point of view is that if I'm reviewing pull requests, I don't actually have a way of verifying that the work is correct. So we need an owner of this, which is tricky. How do you build up that level of trust? I don't know. It's really hard. Purplestone says, I went to Laracon. It was really great. Brackets. Laravel meetup. That does sound really fun. I really love a good conference. Another reason I liked Code Mesh so much is that it was in where was it? It was in it's South London somewhere, but I can't quite put my finger on where. Defo not Emacs, says Lorenzo. Neovim, but slowly moving to VS Code just because my workplace trusts it. I moved to VS Code because I couldn't get Neovim to work properly on Windows ages ago, and then I moved back. And now I am once again my beautiful Neovim, how I missed you. It's just the most lovely feeling editor, especially now it doesn't use Vim script anymore. Vim script was just absolutely dreadful. Lovely. Should we do some work? It's been so long, I'm not sure I can be bothered to start the work now. Does that mean it's over? I mean, it's like 20 past 10 in the evening for me. I've been standing all day. I mean, I'm at a standing desk, hence the it's not that my chair is extremely wobbly. I did have a chair. Where's it gone? Oh, there. Good. Well, maybe that's the end then, eh? In which case, this is the most powerful raid I've ever got to do. Very exciting. God, there's 101 people here. Oh my gosh. It's like 3 times as many as I normally get. Oh, what a good stream. I've had a really nice time. I hope you have had a delightful time as well. Who have we got here? Is anyone I follow online? V-Stream's online, but he's doing Final Fantasy, which I don't really want to raid. I think we should keep it programming, don't you think? Anyone got any favourites for people to raid? Oh, Newbie wants to. I don't know what he wants, but he's complaining again. Oh, you know what? Let's do a last. Newbie, no, come back. Newbie. No, okay. Hello. Who do you want to go for, folks? I'm very open to ideas. Nick's mentioned Dreams of Code _dev. It's always with the _dev, eh? Ooh. Oh, Hyperland and Go. That sounds quite fun. That does sound fun. Let's have a quick scan, see if there's anyone else. Writing a Lua type checker. Wow, that sounds amazing. Hyperland and Go sounds great. Let's check what this is like. The Alt F4 stream. Oh, I missed that one. What is this? This is this Zig? Is this language Zig? Oh yeah, it says Zig here. And what was the other one that suggested? The Alt F4 thing? What's that? The Alt F4 string. Nick's mentioned. There we go. Okay. Oh yeah, right at the top. Doing a bit. Oh, this makes me think they're going to leave. So, and this is Nick's mentioned. I think I like the idea of Go a little more. I think that it says Hyperland and Go, but it's Zig. Let's have a little listen.
Well, I like that they give you tests out of the box. That's kind of cool.
What accent is that?
Well, we've got 110 people in here. That's... Or is that just an error? We should be back.
Where are you from, I say?
Frames aren't dropping anymore. Is this still white screen?
We're watching me and watching someone else. That's what's going on now.
Hey, Lewis Pilford. This is the man who has created Gleam.
He knows who I am.
I'm from UK, but I live in Arkansas. But originally from South London. Yeah, Andrew Courtier. He's a pretty cool creator. Does a lot of Neovim content.
Let's do it. He knew who I was, and he's a fellow Londoner. We're doing it.
Oh yeah.
100% winning.
It's like bouncing around.
All right, here we go.
Thank you so much for the follow.
Way to go. Thank you so much for a wonderful stream, folks. I was absolutely ecstatic with all the follows and subs. You've been amazing. You've made me very happy. Can't wait to see you next time. Let's go make this guy really happy, okay? Bye. Bye. Oh, what a follow in the last moment. Love you all.
I think one video on Elixir. Yeah, I think what you're doing with Gleam is really, really interesting. So I'm looking forward to giving it a go. But I want to wait for the hype cycle to die down before I actually look at it.
Bye, YouTube.
With a level head.